Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to share this next guest with you. We are talking with Danielle Mackenzie today from whattheflour.com. She has created a gluten-free flour blend that is unbelievable. And I am so grateful. I mean, I'm so happy that I actually made my own cookies and poured myself an espresso. Danielle has done something that many people do in their lives, where she has created something from adversity. And in her situation, one of her children had food allergies, and she was like looking for gluten-free and flours that would work and not taste terrible or gritty or have that aftertaste, but that would also make him feel like he wasn't missing out. And she has been successful. This is amazing. This gluten-free flour blend is outstanding. And I'm talking with her today about that, how she started. And it's really hard to have young kids, take time for yourself, and start a business. And she's going to share that with us today. So let's welcome Danielle Mackenzie. Danielle, thank you for being here. This is so exciting to me.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here too.
Well, I want to tell you, in our house, gluten-free is not a good word. Most people who live here they see the pile of cookies or whatever it is that I've made, and they say, "Is that gluten-free?" And they say it with this a little bit of apprehension, because a lot of times gluten-free tastes that gritty. There's an aftertaste. It's kind of whatever. And you just sort of feel like when you're biting into the cookie, you think to yourself, boy, I wish it tasted like my grandma's recipe or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I got this flour, and I made my sugar cookies from my family recipe, and I started crying. I was like, oh, this is it. It's like my life is so much better. And I had to get a hold of you to talk about what you did, because this is a process, and this is important for those people who can relate, who have some issues with this. So start me off. How did this happen?
Well, it originally, I had no intentions of ever starting a gluten-free flour company. That was never, if you would have asked me 5 years ago, I would have laughed like, okay, yes, sure. There's no intentions of that. It all kind of started, my oldest son, probably when he was about 6 months old. We started, like he always battled eczema, really bad eczema. And we tried cream, we tried everything, prescriptions, nothing would solve it. We just kind of got it at bay where it was we can control it. And then he also was getting blood in his stool. So that was quite alarming and scary as a first-time mom to be seeing this when you open the diaper up. So we went to emergency a couple times. They did tests, and everything came back fine. It kept happening. And so we heard that maybe it could be a dairy allergy. So right then we took dairy out of his diet, and it seemed to clear up. We'd see it once in a while, but it definitely helped. And then that it was at bay, and I knew in my gut that it was still bothering me, that something wasn't right with him, that he just wasn't he was feeling, I could just tell that something was off.
He was less than optimal in terms of, was his energy and stuff. Like, if I could just stop you. So, 6 months old is really early. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's not talking to you saying, oh, my stomach hurts or whatever. And is it because you're breastfeeding him and you're like, what?
Yeah. So I was nursing, and I cut dairy out of my diet at that time as well to help him. So, because we had just introduced yogurts at that time. So I think that's what was like the push over the edge.
Okay.
That we started seeing these more aggressive symptoms. So I cut it out of my diet. And then so fast forward to preschool. So he's 3 years old, and the teacher says to me, like, he's not keeping up with the class. He's too tired, and and that wasn't normal for a young kid. They're just usually bursting with energy. And so I'm like, man, what is this? So we go to the doctor and everything's fine. And so we start looking at our diet, and we're seeing what can we change here? So you think like, okay, we're giving him whole wheat bread. You're giving him all like eggs. He loved eggs. So I was giving him eggs and thinking I was following the food guide and thinking I'm doing such a good job. There should be no reasons.
Yeah.
And then more symptoms would come. He'd break out into rashes that almost looked like burns on his body, and it was alarming. And I was really at my wit's end when it came to his full body itches. He would be up all night itching and crying, but at this time there was no rash anymore. It was just
like under the skin.
Like you couldn't see anything, but he's itching and crying and uncomfortable. So I was rubbing creams on him and tickling his arms and trying to make him comfortable, and nothing was helping. And this was going on. So we went to a naturopath, and I poured my heart in tears and please help me. Like, what can we do here? And so we did a food sensitivity panel. And the results that came back were everything we were eating was basically what he can't have. And I got this list, and I was happy. I thought, okay, we have answers and this is good. But at the same time, I was, what can I feed you? What am I?
What the flour?
Yes, definitely. Like it was, we had some guidance, but at the same time, I go to the grocery store and I'm reading these labels and I can't buy anything. Everything has eggs or the gluten-free foods that I was looking for all had rice flour in them, which rice was one of his high-risk items. Eggs were a high-risk item. Oats were a high-risk item. All gluten, basically all grains. Millet flour was the one grain that he was okay with. So millet flour stuck with me. I thought, okay, we need to do something with millet flour.
Yeah.
I didn't know what millet flour was at this time. I had heard of millet, but I didn't know what it was.
Right.
So I went and I bought online and in store every flour that I could get that he could have. And I started cooking with it and blending and baking. And we had a lot of bad breakfasts and a lot of failed recipes.
Oh, I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it was bad. And it was to the point, like we decided as a family, my husband and I, that if he's going through this, we're going to do it with him. We're not just going to make us this beautiful fluffy batch of pancakes and then here you get this.
Yeah.
So I was feeling for him, and that's just, he loved food. So I wanted to keep this love growing. So it was getting disappointing. Breakfast would come and I'm like, okay, what are we going to do today? And I try a new recipe and cross my fingers, and there was a lot of failed, but eventually I was victorious, and I found a blend that was good. And my husband, I just remember like, whoa, wow, this is good. And I kept tweaking and really nailed what I think is a perfect blend that could transfer all my recipes that I like to cook for my family and serve it to our family and everybody enjoy. And it's made with ancient grains, which are good for a gut that I know. So I felt good about it. I felt good that I could feed our family this, and it was delicious and good for us.
You know, this is so fabulous. I love it. I just want to say thank you for doing that. Thank you for the thing that, because and I know, my son, my oldest daughter she started walking. And as soon as she started walking, she was covered in eczema and she'd had the itches and the whole thing. Now she's 22 and her eczema would get so bad in these little joint soft bit parts where she would itch like this. And we would get creams for her and it was $77. That was how much the cream was costing way back then. And we just called it the $77 cream. And she'd cry and say, give me the $77 cream. And my other son, he in grade 2 started just the stomach pains and all of that. So it was gluten and dairy for some of us in the family. Because they could tolerate it to certain levels. And then we'd say, okay, no more, or watch that. But at that time, I wasn't seeing lactose-free milk on the shelves very much. I wasn't seeing these flour blends. When you taste it, you just be like, okay, what the? Right? You just be like, I can't eat this. I can't eat this. It tastes like cardboard or, oh man, it just was really disempowering, actually. And then it started this feeling of, well, you eat that and we'll eat this. And so there's many, many people out there who have been the recipients of the you eat that and we'll eat this. And they do feel left out. What's on your plate? Well, your plate doesn't even look like our plate. And
why does my plate look different? That's what we would get. And it would break me. Okay, Mom, I'm going to go have what you're having. I'm not having that either. And it's so heartbreaking to watch them experience that.
I'm curious, did you feel or notice any health benefits to you? You're not allergic.
Yeah, no, I'm not allergic. Yes. So I want to say I didn't really notice from cutting it out. I wasn't concentrating on myself. I didn't notice a big change, but I do notice now when I indulge and I do eat it, it's more of like I get a sluggish feeling about me, and even my skin. I can notice it in my skin. When I do eat a lot of gluten, my skin will show it. I'll get some breakouts.
So breakouts, but not dry.
No, not dry for me. No.
Okay, so it's just breakouts. Interesting. It's so different for so many people, isn't it?
I know, and that's the tricky part. I think is that it's not the same for everybody. So you don't know if like, oh, you have eczema, so you must be gluten-free, or there's not one symptom that is an answer. So it's so hard. I've had parents reach out to me and thank me. And like, this has helped our family so much because I've been trying to find something to feed my daughter, and she can't have oats and she can't have rice and she can't have corn.
Right.
And I wasn't able to make her pancakes or make her muffins for her lunch. And thank you. And that's the most rewarding part, is being able to help these parents out in the position I'm in and not have months and months or a year of trying to find something that's good that they can eat as a family.
Yeah. And I find that, you need something solid. It's so hard for me when, I wake up in the morning and I really want that. I want a breakfast muffin, and you can't have it. And then you go to your gluten-free counterpart and it doesn't satisfy in that sense.
Yeah.
I've noticed, when I'm baking with your flour blend, it's on par.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you. It makes me so happy to hear that.
It's like I told you, Dave is the biggest critic in the family about gluten-free. I mean, he just goes, don't even hand it to me. And he took a few bites of the cookie and he ended up eating them. I didn't even know that they were gluten-free. And I think that was really important, because if it can slip past someone who is like a gluten crazy person, loves give me gluten. And I just marvel, how can you eat that much gluten?
I know. It really opens your eyes up to how much is out there in everything.
I have a question. Is your son celiac?
No, not to our knowledge. I never did test him for celiac, and I don't believe he is, just because now that we've gotten such a handle on it and we know exactly what triggers him, and he's old enough now, he's 6 now, so I can ask him how he's feeling.
Yeah.
We do, like, if we're at a birthday party, sometimes we'll allow him to enjoy the food at the party, and for the most part, he's okay. We've healed his leaky gut, and we eat so much great food for his body that the odd time we're lucky that he's not celiac, that he is able to now enjoy other foods occasionally. If we do loose, like on holidays, we had a bit too much, and then it kind of starts him back from square one, and then we're back to, okay, we're just sticking to the foods we know, and we have to do that for a while until he's back to himself.
So I want to ask you a question. Now I want to just remind all those who are listening, neither one of us are professionals to be able to say, oh, it's all these things. But I just want to ask you, in your own experience. So when you say leaky gut,
mm-hmm.
Is that what the naturopath mentioned to you?
Yes. Yeah. So that's what my naturopath doctor told me. Yes. So I'm not an expert in this area. No. I'm just going off of the information that I had from seeing my doctor with my son, and he had a leaky gut. So we were put on medication and supplements to help heal that gut, along with the diet change.
And this was at how old?
3.
Wow. So preschool, you said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And was he able to articulate, like, okay, my tummy's sore? Was he showing you what was happening in his body, or were you just not,
He not so much the little things. It was more the things he couldn't handle, like the itchy skin that was out of his control, and he could not handle it anymore. And he would just be crying and crying because he couldn't handle it anymore. Also, I don't know I think I forgot to mention, but his bathroom, he wasn't having regular bowel movements. There were a lot of loose stool.
Yeah.
So that was also, a kid will go to the bathroom and you picture them being out in 5 minutes. Well, he's in the bathroom for 20 minutes and struggling in there. So that was another red flag we were dealing with, trying to help him with that. So that's something that's also gotten better since changing, which is I'm so grateful for.
That's amazing, because so he wasn't constipated.
No.
It was just loose.
Yes. Yeah.
And then he wanted to have a bowel movement and then couldn't?
Yeah, that would happen, where he'd feel like he has to go to the bathroom, and then he'd be in there for a long time, and it was, I think, a lot of painful tummy, but he usually it would be coming. It wasn't constipation. It was just a long process. Yeah. Not fun for a young one to be dealing with. Not something you want. You think of your kid and you just want them to be healthy and flourishing, and seeing them have these setbacks that are so out of their control. You just want to find the problem and fix it as a mom, and not being able to do that right away. It was just that was my determination to figure out something that he can enjoy food wise. That was my determination, just so he could not feel like he's missing out, and still have pancakes and waffles, and send muffins in his lunch, and cookies, and the treats, right? That the kids look forward to in their life. And
you then decide, what did someone say to you, Danielle? You need to box this up and sell this, or what happened?
Yeah. So, I was making, what it kind of started as is I was making for Weston to go to his sleepovers and with grandma and grandpa, or we're going camping, and I'd be making little Ziploc bags of our waffle mix and sending it with him. And I'd be making big batches of the flour and packaging them up in my pantry just so I could have it at ease for me to use. And this was kind of beginning of COVID now. I just had my 3rd baby. And I said to my husband, I was kind of feeling that I want to do something. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I wanted to do something use my brain and kind of, I wanted that change a little bit. And I thought this is perfect because I know that there are other people out there that struggled with this. And if I can get this product out there to these other families, how amazing would that be? So that was all it was. I was sitting on the porch with my husband and we had this conversation and he was very supportive of, and he's, let's do it. Let's try it out. And so first thing was to make these and hand them out to everybody we knew and get feedback. If this is even like, if maybe it's just us, maybe we're the only ones who like this. So let's get feedback. So we sent it out to friends and family, and we don't have a lot of family that are gluten-free. So a lot of our critics were gluten eaters, which I thought is probably a good thing because if they like it, then that they're not putting it at a lower standard.
Right.
So that's what we did. And we got great feedback from family and friends. And I started to go to work working on this idea.
Now, how did you come up with the name? Was it just because every single person was saying, what the?
Yeah, I was talking to my sister. We were messaging back and forth business names. She was trying to help me. And it just kind of popped out. Like I said, WTF. And then I just kind of wrote it out. And she was like, yes, this is it. You need to use this name. And it was just kind of the moment it was a winner and we went with it.
It is a winner. It's super creative and, I absolutely love it. So, then what? Because, part of this show is to talk about how you turned this struggle into something. I find that so empowering. This is an example of anything we can do in our lives. And you can relate your story and your beginnings to anything. We can do anything. And lots of times, when you feel the pressure, when you feel the pain of something and you pursue it, you pursue a solution, usually it's a really good idea. and so I love it. So, okay. I'm just looking at your website right now. So it's WTFLOUR.com. Yes. And you have a flour blend. You have a pumpkin muffin mix, which is seasonal, limited edition. Right. The stacked pancake waffle mix and stud muffin oat mix.
Yes.
And then I know you have a chocolate chip.
Yeah. So we have a chocolate chip cookie as well. And then we also have dairy-free mini chocolate chips.
Yes. I haven't gotten those yet. That's the next on my list.
Yeah.
Sorry. Tell me, I remember your original branding and you moved on. So let's go from the inception, which is, you get your logo and you slap it on bags. And then where did you had to start sourcing things and talk about that with me.
Okay. So originally my original plan was to make it at home, do my mixes and sell it that way. But I came into a couple of roadblocks with, first of all, gluten-free certified. I wanted to make sure it was celiac safe. So I wasn't able to do that in my own kitchen. So I needed, and also if I wanted to sell to grocery stores, it needs to be for food. It can't just be a food safe in your home. It needs to be SQF certified, which was all French to me at that time. What is SQF certified? I learned a lot along the way. Yeah. So I had to do a little bit of a shift, and then my goal was to find a co-packer that could help me produce. I give them my recipe, and then they could produce these into bags for me in their facilities that are already food safe and gluten-free certified. So I know it's safe for everyone to eat. So that was the goal, is finding my co-packer. And I called around and I did a lot of research, and I was lucky enough to find a co-packer that I could trust and that were really great to work with, especially with us starting small business and small quantities in the beginning. So that was lovely. We started there, and my husband and I would have labeling parties the night before production up till 1 and 2 in the morning, slapping the stickers on the bags. And my in-laws came to help a couple of times. Family would come help. It was a lot of fun looking back. We dreaded it at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, we got to do more labels tonight. But we got it done. And yes, we started, I started pitching it to grocery stores. My first store that I approached was Lee's Market in Fort Langley.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, the owner wanted to take a chance on me and brought me into their store. And that was kind of my big win. And I thought, okay, I can do this. I can get my product into stores. That's my first step to get it in front of people. And so I've just since then been working away and approaching different stores one by one and trying to get what the flour on the shelf.
Well, it's amazing. So you went from that transition period of friends and family, and were you charging them at the time, or were you like, how are you?
Just, anybody that would try it, I was giving it to them. Please give it and give me feedback. Yeah.
And then you took that, and so what was the minimum packing that you had to have at the co-packer?
They let me do initially about 250 bags per SKU.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know, because it's not, so then you took those and you held on to those, and then you started handing those out too.
Yeah. And then another issue that came up was shelf life.
Right.
How do we figure out what the shelf life is on these bags? So that was a bit of a learning curve, but now we've got it nailed down. We do 9-month shelf life now, and we know our product's going to be great for the whole 9 months, and with no issues there. And so now I have to keep an eye on with production and keeping fresh product in rotation. It's been a little bit of a learning curve, and we've had some product that we've lost because trying to figure out the right quantities to order and make, but we're starting to find our groove there, which is nice.
Yeah. Now sourcing the flours and the things that you need. Whereabouts, like how far do you go to source your flours?
I had a family friend that was actually working at a bakery supply. So they originally helped me source my ingredients.
Very good.
So that was very helpful. And now my co-packer, I work with them, and they're doing so many that they have easily sourced the ingredients.
Perfect.
From the companies that they work with.
And this is sort of a part of the process, but this might not be, it's not directly linked to the flour, but it's more about your process. Mm-hmm. When you are starting out like this, how do you not become completely overwhelmed? Like you're, because I know from 2 businesses, it is not easy to maintain the focus on the one thing that you're trying to do, especially when it's branding, because it goes and it's development. It goes in 10 different directions in one day. Mm-hmm. So how did that work for you?
Well, I have no secret to not being overwhelmed because
I don't either. I'm just asking. Maybe you can help me.
No, unfortunately, I can't help you there. There's been a lot of overwhelming days, and I've said to my husband, I don't know if I can do that. I have 3 kids, and they all need so much of me. And then I have my business that was like my 4th baby, and it's a lot of the times it's a lot, but I like to make my list and tackle one thing at a time, and really try and focus on the most important things that I need to accomplish.
Which are like 10 and 15 in one day. You're like, okay, order of urgency. So they all have an urgent flag on them, right?
They're all urgent. It's very overwhelming, and a lot of it's hard to stay positive some days. I'll say it's hard to maintain the positive attitude, but you get a win, and then it kind of shifts you again. You're like, okay, yes, this is why we're doing this, and it gets your head back in the game.
Well, and I can resonate with you on the when you're with the first grocery store that put the flour on the shelf, where you felt like that's like the biggest thing. You celebrate, you dance around the room. I remember when I had a really big guest, and I was like, oh my gosh. And it was really interesting because I had this notable person, and she, lovely human. And we met for 20 minutes. It was like, I did a podcast with her, and it was really brief. And it didn't go anywhere in the sense that I moved on to other people that were as notable as she.
Yeah.
But what it did for me was it was the shot in the arm that said, if you can do that, if that person will notice you, then you can actually pursue these people. Yeah. It's going to be okay. And at that time, I had a minuscule amount of followers. I mean, I was maybe in 100, maybe 200 followers at the time. Yeah. I didn't have a lot of people, but for some reason, the cause was important. And she went yes to me. Yeah. And I know that feeling. It gives you what you need to keep going, doesn't it?
Giving you their vote of confidence. And it just really, you need that vote of confidence from somebody, and it helps you just move forward and widen your dreams a little bit. And
I found it for me, and maybe you can speak to this, it brought me back into alignment. Almost like, right, this is my purpose. Yep. Right. Because all of those overwhelming things take you in all those directions. And sometimes you're a little bit wobbly. And when someone sees you and they go, what you've done is awesome. You have this flash of pride and you go, yes. And you move back into alignment, and then you get to the next gear, and then you go. So when the grocery store in Fort Langley said yes to you, then what was your next stage of overwhelm where now you got to keep everything on the shelf?
Yes. Yeah. So we got to keep it on the shelves, and we've also got to sell what's on the shelf. Yeah. That was so, it's just always making sure that we had stock, because I'm so new that I don't want to be quickly replaced. If they want to order, I want to make sure I'm able to, yes, I can have it to you tomorrow. I want to be able to be that good customer service. So it's just really been learning and trying and failing sometimes, and trying again, and finding our groove.
Now, when did you decide to move to branding? So your branding changed.
Yeah. So besides the labeling of the bags, which we did not enjoy doing those stickers, those bags weren't recyclable. So that really bothered me. Okay. So I knew I wanted to get a bag that was recyclable. And just to stand out on the shelves. I knew I had this fun name, What the Flower, and I knew I wasn't using it to its full potential. Yeah. So we ended up working with a company that specialized in food and beverage marketing. Okay. And they really took the time to get to know me and know what my vision was, and they helped guide me, and we came up with these new bags, and I'm so happy we did it, because I love them and they really stand out on the shelf. So I feel like when you're walking by, they catch your eye, and
the bags are fabulous. Yeah. I've not seen a brand as it feels smooth. Yeah. Clean, inventive, exciting, and fun. It makes you want to try the flower. Like you go, this is going to be fun. This is going to be good for me. It's just weird. I'm proud of you. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, well, I'm so happy with how they turned out. I'm really proud of them.
Oh, I'm really proud. And the colors are great.
It's definitely nice, light and bright and fun. And I didn't want anything overly busy, and the flower space is, you wouldn't really, it's not a fun category. It's not a sexy category. No. So I thought it would be kind of cool to bring some life into it.
Well, a lot of times I was looking, because I was shopping the other day and I was thinking about this. And of course, my daughter, she's 12 now, and she says, okay, so she's trying to make something and we needed the flour. So we're in the store and we were talking about, she loves design and loves labels and logos.
Yeah.
So she hadn't seen your logo or design yet.
Yeah.
And we're standing there and she said, everything looks a little vintagey. Then I got so excited when the doorbell rang, and because I ordered online. Hello.
Right to your door.
That's right to my door. So I ordered online. 3 came in a box. She opens it up and she's like, are you kidding me? This is my color. And she picked up the pancake and waffle mix, which is yellow. And that's her favorite color. And she just went, Mom, no, this is it. And that was it. It was like fun, beautiful for her. And she wanted to make pancakes immediately. So she did.
Oh my God.
And I didn't even do it. Like I was like, go for it. Make your pancakes. Yeah. So this is really important. And it's not easy to blend things together. You talk about millet flour. Now, can we talk about that a little bit more? Because millet feels old.
Yeah.
And it is. It's an ancient grain, right?
It's an ancient grain. So millet is an ancient grain. It's high in protein and iron. And it's also one of the things that when I was researching millet, when I was getting to know it, is that it takes less water to cultivate millet than it does rice flour. So that really stood out to me because the main ingredient in a lot of gluten-free flours is rice flour.
Yes.
So knowing that this is better for the planet because it takes less water really stood out to me. And it's good for your gut. There's, it's a great, it doesn't taste good on its own. I wouldn't recommend buying millet flour and throwing it in your recipe. It doesn't perform well on its own, but when I pair it with the sorghum and the tapioca starch, it really works well. So the next ingredient that I found was sorghum flour.
Okay.
Started with millet because I knew that was my one safe ingredient from his allergy test that I saw. So sorghum flour I found, it's also an ancient grain. And it doesn't have quite as strong as a flavor as millet. So it kind of helps with toning the flavor down, and it just complements it very well. Yeah. It also has high protein and iron in it as well.
Do you know what I noticed? It doesn't have, maybe it's the rice flour that makes it that little bit of a grainy, do you think? This doesn't have that. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. I kind of stumbled on this. I'm really not an expert.
Right.
I know what I've tried and I just compare it, and I found something that I liked personally and my family liked. But yes, it does not get the grainy texture that is known in gluten-free foods.
No, it isn't. Or it doesn't, sorry. And xanthan gum, is that showing up anywhere?
Yes. So that we put less than 1% in. It without gluten. Gluten is a binder in flour, and what the xanthan gum does is kind of acts as that. It adds a little bit of fluff and strength to the flour.
But it also has a taste.
Yes, not in the use that I'm using such a small amount that it wouldn't. But
that's what I'm identifying, because there's a taste at the end of an xanthan gum when it's high in that.
Yeah.
So gluten is a natural occurring protein that you find in wheat, rye, barley, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so the word gluten actually means glue, right? So you need something to glue it all together. And they would use xanthan gum as replacement for the gluten.
Yeah.
But if something requires a high level of it, then you're going to taste that there's that bitter, tinny almost flavor to it.
Yes.
Whereas you don't have it. And that's what I'm identifying as. I think that's why it puts the flavor up over the edge, because you've done it. It's like you don't have to add tons of cinnamon and spices to get rid of that taste.
Yeah.
The flour just stands on its own. That's come from like your test kitchen of trial and error. And when you're going, what the heck is this?
Yeah.
I can't even eat this. Would you have put a whole bunch of xanthan gum in there to figure that out?
Yeah, I tried different amounts. Definitely. I experimented. There was many, and I had my kitchen scale, and it was down to the gram, and lots of testing done. And I found kind of my sweet spot. We are very low on xanthan gum than other gluten-free flours. So
yes, you are. Yeah.
Some people with their certain recipes might add more if they want more of the strength, but I really wanted it. So it was because you don't need it in a lot of your everyday baking.
This sounds like it was just serendipitous.
Yeah, I mean, I did have some family members that expressed concern, especially from the point of view of juggling 3 kids and also starting a business. My husband is also a business owner, so he's very busy running a business. So it was, I think, more from an angle of concern of how are you going to do this with what you have so much going on right now. And I heard that. And sometimes I think to myself, they were right. But
absolutely,
it's hard. It's really hard finding the balance of being a working mom and being there. But I want to be there for school pickups, and I want to be involved in their lives. That's always been my goal as a mom. So it's been a bit challenging kind of finding how to make all of that work. I am figuring it out day to day. Some days are harder than others, but I feel like if it's something that's important to you, you just make it work. You figure it out. And that's what I try to do.
Well, and I know, and there's being a mother of young children is exhausting. Period. End of story. You add anything onto that, whether it's working out, whether it's eating well, whether it's your own health, whether it's trying to sleep or start a business or go to work.
Yeah.
It is just a difficult stage. Period. End of story. And I admire you for jumping into this stream and saying, no, I'm picking this up. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Can you give anyone any encouragement who is out there who's like, well, I had to be, industrious in this time because of this experience in my life, and they're feeling the doubt. What would you say to those people and give them a little encouragement?
I'm here with you. I'm in the trenches with you. I feel it. And there's just so many hard days, and just look for those moments. What I try to do for myself is just find those moments of victory and hold on to them and work hard to get your next one, because that's what keeps you going, is those moments, those small victorious moments.
I hear you. Thank you for that. You are online at a lot of stores. Well, you can go online all over Canada, correct?
Yes, we're across Canada online right now. We are working. We have been in discussion with some distributors, so we have some exciting traction coming that I'm hoping to be in grocery stores across Canada. That's my goal.
My gosh. Well, I know you're going to achieve that. And I noticed on your website that you're saying here that you're in restaurants.
Yes.
So I can go to a restaurant and have a gluten-free pancake for their brunch?
Yes, you can. Joseph Richards Groups has taken us on. So they have, we're in 5 of their restaurants. So they're SNLs, which are Langley, Abbotsford, and South Surrey. Their town halls and Livelihood also.
Oh, okay. I got to go do this then. Because
that was a big win. That was from just being a mom in the kitchen with no baking history of I haven't gone to school for anything. Yeah. And to have your recipes, that was the most nerve-wracking, dropping the samples off for the chefs, their head chefs, to test out for their restaurants. Oh. And I didn't even want it. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to hear it. And my husband's like, you got it. You want to know, good or bad, you want to know. And so anyways, we dropped it off for them to test. And then I anxiously awaited their feedback, and to have a professional give you and carry it in their restaurants is just mind blowing. And it was what it was. I'm still over the moon about it. I still can't believe it.
Oh, well, my gut is just dancing right now to know I've got an S+L SNL right up the road, actually, for me. And I'm telling Dave, we're going there on the weekend for
brunch plans.
I also know that you are proudly supporting Mamas for Mamas.
Yes.
Can you explain a little bit about this charity to us?
Yeah, so they're based in Vancouver here. I know they have a head office in Kelowna as well, and I think they've just opened one up on the island.
Okay.
And they are a support program for moms. So if you're a mom or you know a mom that it just needs help, mental support, anything, they have resources for you, and they're there to help you. And I know just anybody can reach out to them at any time. And it just really stuck with me because I'm a mom. And if I was ever in that position, knowing that there's just these people that are there for you is just, it's easy access for these moms. And I knew it was a cause that I wanted to be able to support.
Yes.
And they also do lunchbox programs. So they help kids that need help getting lunches. So they support that. They do a birthday program for kids' birthday parties. If a kid can't bring a present to a birthday party, they'll give the kid a present to bring to a birthday party to give their friend, or their own birthday. A mom can reach out. They're just there really for any aspect, and it's a great bunch of ladies.
Oh, well, I thank you for doing that, because that's just, that's amazing. So you support with your gluten-free flowers.
Yeah. So I send them flowers, and I've had moms that have reached out to me thanking, because as we all know, gluten-free is not always on par price point with regular flowers. So it's not always easily accessible. And I know a lot of families end up just eating gluten because it's all they can afford. So I like to help wherever I can with that.
Oh, Danielle, I just want to say thank you. This is just, I don't know. I feel a lot of gratitude, and maybe it's because I feel the benefit of it for my own body. And I know it's transformed my daughter's life. It is really important. Food is important to us. And food gives us that sense of, this is great. It gives you that sense of just feeling comfort and like you're satiated. And there's something about when you can't have something, you want it more. Mm-hmm. You've created the space for me to want that sugar cookie, and I can make it, and it tastes good. My ginger snap cookies around this time of year, they're really important to me. It's just weird. But
I just made a batch of those 2 nights ago. Oh my gosh.
Aren't they amazing? And I made your chocolate chip cookies, and it was amazing. So thank you. Thank you. It's like it takes something off my plate. And I know that for people who are gluten sensitive or celiac, or you have allergies, when someone can take something off of your plate, off of your list, off of that worry thing, it frees other places for you to just rest and create and do. And so thank you. I mean, if this has come in the form of flour, and I cannot say more about you. And thank you for listening to the universe. Thank you for responding. Thank you for doing the good work. This is lovely. Thank you for being on the show today and sharing with all of us.
Oh, thank you. I thank you for having me here. This has been an honor.
Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, Laurie.